Hello, everyone. Welcome to this training today. I love SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. And these are so important because a lot of times in business, we wear all the hats, right? We put on every single hat. You're the janitor. Yes. You're the sales. Yes. You're customer service. Yes. You're doing all of it, operations, everything. So then when you get to that place where you just physically do not have the time to do it and you want to bring somebody else in, guess what ends up happening? It's hard to offload your work because there's no standard operating procedure. There's nothing that you can hand somebody so that they can go and do the work for you. So then what ends up happening? You just say, you know what? It's going to take me too much time to teach you. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it myself. Forget it. We do not want to do that. We want to start creating standard operating procedures to run our businesses effectively so that we can really get a virtual assistant, get someone to take the load off of us. There's a lot of tasks that you might be doing right now that are non-value added, meaning the amount that it costs for you to do it as the business owner is astronomically higher than it would be to get somebody else to do it. But again, if you don't have that standard operating procedure, how are you going to be able to offload the work to anybody? So I'm going to give you one of my greatest little techniques for standard operating procedures. And you're going to be so thrilled that I teach you this. In fact, I probably shouldn't even teach you this because I charge people for this, but for you, I'm going to make an exception. But in order to get it, you have to be a member of the school community. So make sure that you go down to the description box, click the link. It's free to join, and then go to classrooms and you'll be able to download this template. So this is a standard operating procedure that I like to use. At the top, it has the ISO 9000, just kind of standard, how you find these things. I'll do that in another training, so don't worry about that right now. What you need to focus on is how to outline your standard operating procedure. So let's get into this. First, your procedure needs to have a purpose. Like, what is the purpose of this procedure? Then you need to have a scope. What is the scope? Like, what does it outline? What does it contain? Like, it does this and this, but it doesn't do that. So you want to do a scope. Who's responsible for what? Who's supposed to do what they're supposed to do in this particular function? And then what are your definitions? Now, this is, like I said, a standard template. So for our business, we have like all of these standard terms that I'm going to be using. So, but if you didn't have standard terms, you would do definitions. So if there was something that you were writing that had a particular definition, you would want to make sure that you put it in here. That way people understand what it is that you're talking about. If you have safety, you want to put in any type of safety concerns. If you have any related documents, and as you build your standard operating procedure, you're going to want to make sure that you reference back to different procedures so that they can understand, like, oh, I might be looking at one procedure, but maybe this procedure has 3 other procedures that they're related to. The next one is that you want to do the equipment or materials. So let's say that they need a computer, or they need a printer, or they need some type of a little doohickey in order to do it. That's where you want to put it right here, is in the equipment and the required materials. Then you want to do notes. What's just in general, what is it that they need to know about here? Maybe it's not a part of the process, it's not a definition, but it's just something that they need to know. You want to make sure you take notes of it. You put it there. And then finally, you want to do outline the process. What are the actual step-by-step processes that you do? Now you might be saying, Nikisha, this feels completely overwhelming for me. You're doing too much. This is the reason why I don't have a standard operating procedure, is because I don't know how to do this stuff. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a huge tip. This is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go and download ChatGPT. If you don't have ChatGPT, you need to get it. It is a huge lifesaver. It's going to save you so much money and so much time on the activities that you're doing. So definitely make sure that you go ahead and download ChatGPT. What you're going to want to do is take what it is that you already do in your business. What is this function that you're trying to offload to somebody? And just write it down. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just write down actually what you do. And then you want to go into ChatGPT and you want to do, because you have to understand with ChatGPT, it's really about prompts, right? You have to tell it what to do. You have to tell it how you want things organized. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to write down all that stuff. You're going to open up ChatGPT and you're going to say, listen, I want you to create a procedure for me on blah, blah, blah function, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Here are the main steps that I want you to outline. And you just do, like, I always do quotation marks. So I say from this step to that step. And I want you to put it in this format. So then you would just copy and paste all of those things that I just had on that template that I just showed you. So hopefully you were taking notes. If not, make sure that you go into the description and click on the school community and join. It's free. And you can go ahead and download that actual template for your very own in the classrooms. Anyways, so then you're going to say, so we said, we want you to create a procedure for this function. We outline the function, just whatever it is that you do. And then you want to put it into this format and do a parentheses around the whole thing that says procedure, scope, purpose, all that stuff, procedure around that, and then click enter. And what ChatGPT is going to do is it's going to take all of your notes and it's going to format into that procedure for you. Standard operating procedure has been birthed. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm telling you guys, this is a game changer. This is a life changer. You could do this probably in an afternoon by just writing out what it is that you actually do and having ChatGPT put all those pieces together in the format that I just told you. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this training. It's been a pleasure to give this to you. I'll stay online for a few more a few more minutes in case anybody has any questions. Other than that, you have been systematized. I don't know if that's going to be the tagline, but basically, remember, leaders manage systems, systems manage people. Boom. All right, you guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.